What's up, Newmans? It's the start of a new year, and that only means New Year's resolutions. Especially coming from such an eventful year of 2020. People's motivations for the New Year's resolutions are either at an all-time high or low. But what usually happens year after year, and I don't think this year is an exception, is that people quickly lose their motivation and drive to continue pursuing their goals. According to the US News and World Report, 80% of our New Year's resolutions fail by mid-January to February. Now, why does this happen year after year? One reason is because our goals aren't as clear as they can be. Before we set our goals, do we really think about where they're coming from, why they're important to us, and how exactly would achieving them influence our lives? Just saying to ourselves, for example, I want to get in better shape, without really being clear as to why we want to achieve that, can ultimately hinder our motivation over time and result in a failed resolution. Uncertainty creates room for indifference, confusion, and distance between our goals and aspirations. We may think that simply creating goals is the most important step, but simply crafting vague objectives can actually cause more psychological stress. The second reason is that we may become overwhelmed. Change can be very daunting. It may seem as though we are making a sharp turn to adapt to a path paved by our goals. We may not know exactly where to start, what will happen along the way, and if we will even achieve our goals. We may also be facing pressures from our environment, culture, loved ones, and even ourselves to hurry up and achieve our tasks. Now, over time, these pressures may feel a bit claustrophobic, as though the walls are beginning to close in on us. And even if we do know where the journey starts, sometimes looking at the long road ahead may cause us to feel as though it's too much too soon. These are factors that may cause us to quit before we even start. Another reason is that we become discouraged due to several factors. As we strive for our goals, we can become impatient in the process. Perhaps we're not seeing signs of progress, or at least not as much progress as we had expected. We may find ourselves reflecting on the pros and cons, and second-guessing whether the goals are even valuable anymore. When this happens, we are ultimately at risk of something called the snowball effect. And rather than getting up, dusting off our hands, and moving forward, when faced with hurdles in the process, our goals may no longer seem doable or even desirable, resulting in us throwing in the towel. The last reason is that we are simply not ready for change. Growth isn't a linear process, and I've explained that in my latest Instagram and Facebook post. We may very well be interested in change, but might not be ready for it just yet. If we are setting new goals for ourselves, the chances are we are hungry for some level of change. However, failure to thoroughly consider the corresponding what, when, where, and why may cause us to lack the ability to truly ask ourselves if we are currently ready to make the necessary sacrifices. Now, this lack of connection, motivation, and dedication doesn't mean that our goals aren't representative of our dreams. It may simply just mean that they are not the goals that matter the most to us at this present time. So I just listed several reasons as to why we may give up on our New Year's resolutions so quickly. How exactly do we remain consistent and committed regarding the pursuit of our goals? Now, the crucial component is tailoring these goals so that they align with who we are and what we want to achieve. It's important to remember that we can adjust our goals as we get closer to achieving them. We can also set new goals throughout the year. We don't have to wait till the start of a new year to do so. The truth is, most resolution failures don't stem from a lack of willpower. They fail because we shouldn't have started them on January 1st. So start your resolution when you're ready. delaying your goals is better than abandoning them altogether. Now, a very helpful tool that I use to set my goals and counteract these 4 obstacles that I just mentioned is the SMART goals framework. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. When we are specific about what we want to achieve, it gives us clarity. By setting goals that are measurable, we can accurately evaluate our progress and make adjustments along the way. We want to ensure that our goals are actually attainable, and this is crucial for staying motivated. The relevancy of our goals ties back to where they're coming from, why they're important to us, and how achieving them will influence our lives. And last, we want to ensure that our goals are time-bound, meaning that we have a set deadline that we want to achieve them by. Set a deadline that feels challenging yet realistic. It could be 4 months, it could be 4 years. By setting SMART goals, we remain realistic and optimistic, and that ultimately contributes to our motivation. We are the only ones who can stand in our own way of achieving our own goals. And when we know exactly how we may stand in our own way, we can then empower ourselves to move accordingly with our values. So that sums up this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more related content. I put out new videos every week. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave it in the comment section below or inbox me personally. You can find links to my email, Instagram, and Facebook in the About section of this channel. And as always, thanks for watching, Newmans. I'll see you in the next one.